All right, so this video is all about the top 5 reasons that my wife and I have decided that we're going to raise our family here in the city of Temecula, California. If you guys are thinking about making a move here, I think this is going to be a really helpful video. I'm going to go over, some of our favorite parts about living here and some of the reasons that we decided this is the area that we want to set up our roots and where we want to raise our family. Hopefully it's going to be a good perspective for you guys, and hopefully it helps you decide if this is the area that you might want to live in too. So let's go ahead and get into it. Hey guys, hey again, my name is Justin Short. I am a realtor and team leader for the Short Real Estate team here in Temecula, California and Murrieta, California. And like I mentioned, this video is actually really about our personal lives and all about the reasons that my wife and I have decided that the city of Temecula is where we want to raise our kids and where we are planning to live long term. So again, I think it's going to be a really good perspective for you guys and hear from someone that's lived here in the valley for a long time, why we plan to stay here, why we think it's such a great area to raise our family. I've lived here for over 20 years. My wife has lived here on and off for about 20 years as well. So she moved away for a while, came back. We currently have 2 young kids. So we have an 8-year-old daughter. So she's in 3rd grade now. So she's going through the public school system. And we have our 5-year-old son who's just starting kindergarten. So our kids are young. We could really move anywhere that we would like to, and especially in Southern California, we're relatively close to family. But we plan to stay here in the city of Temecula long term. I'll kind of go over those reasons and why I think it's such a good place to live. But the first thing, if you are liking videos like this, please do me a favor. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe. So obviously it helps me. It helps my channel. Obviously I'm trying to continue to grow it. And we do have a ton of videos that we've posted, probably over a couple hundred videos by now, talking about the cities of Temecula, Murrieta, Menifee. We have market update videos. We have best neighborhoods, worst neighborhoods, talking about the school districts, what part of town you want to live in, etc. So I think there's a lot of really good information if you are thinking about making a move here. And then if you are going to be taking a trip here and you're planning to visit here to Temecula or Murrieta or Menifee, there's a link down below where you can download a really cool PDF. I think it's a really cool guide for if you're coming to town. It gives you some really cool places to check out, give you some neighborhoods that I recommend to check out, and I think it really would help your trip out here to make sure you see the right types of things and really make good use of your time. And then of course you're going to see all my information below. So if you have any real estate questions, of course I'd love to hear from you. So I have people that reach out all the time. I'm happy for you to call, text, or email. Sometimes you guys think you're bugging me. Not at all. I'm happy to be a resource. Obviously I sell real estate for a living. I have a real estate team. That's what we do. So would love to help, love to answer any questions you may have, or of course help you out with your search. So we'll go ahead and get into the video here. So again, I've already lived here for a long time. We plan to live here long term in the city of Temecula. So I've actually lived here so it's over 20 years. In Temecula, I've probably lived for about 3 to 4 years, actually within this, I guess about 5 years or so within the city of Temecula limits. We lived in the city of Murrieta for about 12 years, and I lived in Winchester for probably another, 7 or 8 years. I forget I don't know, not really adding up the math too well right now, but so I've lived in multiple different cities here locally. I think they're all great. I think they're all very, very, very similar. I don't think there's a big difference between living in the city of Temecula or Murrieta or Winchester for that matter. It's just they're all part of the same area, all part of the same really living experience. So, but currently we do actually live within the city of Temecula. It is where we plan to live long term, but really I think all these reasons apply to anywhere here in the valley. So Temecula, Murrieta, Menifee, or even Winchester, where I lived for a long time. So we'll get into the reasons. Reason number 1, and really one of the big things, is we like the heat. So I do not like the cold. I'm happy to go visit the mountains. Usually we'll do like a mountain trip with the kids once a year, right? And we go up and we'll do snowboarding or skiing and that type of stuff, and see the snow. But I would not want to live there. To me, that would be a pretty miserable way of life, right? So that's why we love living here in the Temecula area. So It's right now, it is August. It's about 98 degrees outside. With a little bit of a heat wave that's coming through, but on average, during the summer, temperatures are right about 90 degrees. You're gonna get a heat wave up to the upper 90s or low 100s. So, it's pool weather, right? You can go outside. It's never too cold. Spring and fall are super, super nice. We get very limited rain each year. This is probably the wettest year that we've had. Earlier this year, it probably rained 30 days or so throughout the year. But usually it's about 10 to 12 days of rain per year. Not very wet. To me, I think it's a great climate. It cools off at night. It's super pleasant. You can go outside. You can sit on the patio. You can eat outside at restaurants, that type of thing. But we like the climate. We like the heat. We'd rather be in the sun. So that's reason number one. All right, so reason number two that we plan to live here and raise our family here is all about the school district. So we are part of the Temecula Valley Unified School District. It is one of the best school districts in the state of California. They win all types of awards. They have one of the best high schools in the nation. So that is the Great Oak High School. That's down in South Temecula. That is the highest rated school in the entire district, or really in the entire valley here. But overall, the school district here is really, really, really highly rated. And that applies to both Temecula and Murrieta Valley. So with that, having young kids, being able to go to a public school to get a great education and have a great education base, I think is such an important thing. For us, we don't feel like it's necessary to have to pay for a private school or anything like that. We can live in an area that has a great school district. I think it's really hard to beat as someone who has young children. All right, reason number three is we just really love where the location is inside Southern California. So here in the city of Temecula, there's a ton of stuff to do locally, right? It's really not a small town. It was maybe 20 years ago, right? But it's grown a ton. There's all types of shopping and malls and downtown areas and nightlife and wineries and all types of cool stuff to do. But if you wanted to do more or get maybe a little bit closer to the coast or go to more of a true big city, it's really, really easy to do that. And that's one of the things that we love. So we love that we are just 1 hour away from all the other cool stuff that Southern California offers. So we can get to downtown San Diego in about an hour. I can go, I'm a big sports fan, so I can go down to, a Padres game or walk around Gaslamp. We can take about an hour to get to the zoo. It's about 45 minutes to an hour to get to the beach. So there's tons of beaches that are within that timeline within, in San Diego County. You're about an hour from most of Orange County. So you're about an hour or so from Disneyland. We're about an hour from, Palm Springs to get out to the desert if you wanted to go out there, and a little bit farther trips you can get up to a mountain range real easy or into the city of LA. So we really like that we're so central that although we can live here, maybe a little bit more affordable part of California, and be in a little bit nicer area, especially for somewhere you can buy a house under $1 million, right? And live in a little bit nicer area with a nicer school district. But it's really, really easy to take those day trips, drive an hour, and get to do whatever it is you want to go out to the aquarium, go to the zoo, go to the big city. That's something that we really like and something that we get to enjoy with our kids, and to us that's a big pro about living here. All right, reason number four is really just all of the kid-focused activities here locally. So we talked about the school district. Yes, it's definitely a good school district, but on average, right, I think the last stat that I showed is city of Temecula, the average person that lives here is about 36 years old. And so with that's, I'm 34, right, almost gonna be 35. So I have two young kids. The average 36-year-old usually has younger kids as well. And so with that, there's a ton of activities for those kids. So whether that's from different sports leagues, so there's multiple baseball leagues, there's multiple soccer leagues, there's multiple volleyball leagues and teams and rec teams and travel teams and all that type of stuff. But there's a ton of different sports teams are out there. And then in addition to that, there's a ton of parks locally. So there's a ton of parks, ton of sports parks to be able to have room for the kids to go and play and whatnot. And then also there's a ton of extra events too that are either put on by the city. So City of Temecula and City Murrieta does a great job putting on all types of free events, all types of cool get-togethers or meetups or just free little festivities that they put on, or a lot of things that are done from private businesses too. So there's some like really cool stuff that's out in wine country. We'll maybe do a really cool pumpkin patch, or a really cool Christmas tree lot, or a really cool, ice skating rink, or just all types of different stuff, different concerts and venues that a lot of it's, so family friendly. And so that's one of the things that we really like, because, we have kids. We like to be able to take our kids with us and be able to do all that type of stuff. And so it's nice to live in an area that gears itself towards that, right? I think it's a lot different. For example, my wife lived in New York City for almost, I think it was almost 10 years, right? Well, not a lot of kid-friendly activities that are going on in New York City, right? So it's not a lot of, bring your kids along type of stuff. It's definitely more of an, urban lifestyle. It's more just really for adults, right? So what is nice living here, it's definitely the suburbs in Temecula, but you're going to have all those different experiences to be able to do with your kids. And, obviously we have young kids, and we want to be involved parents, and that's something that we really like. All right, so reason number 5 that we plan to raise our family here in the city of Temecula is really all about affordability. So from my perspective, to be able to live in Southern California and to buy a nice home in a nice area in a nice city for less than $1 million really doesn't exist out there. So, to find, if you're going to compare, the average home right now in the city of Temecula is right around the mid 800,000. So let's say it's about $840,000 or so. And if you compare that to, some of the other surrounding big cities, you can get so much more for your money here. So let's say if you're going to look at San Diego or Orange County, right, you can maybe find a home right around $800,000, $900,000 right in that price range. But there's going to be some major compromises. You're not going to be in a good school district. It's probably going to be an older home that's super dated, and probably going to be an older, smaller home as well, and probably not going to be, such a super safe area. So, knowing that, being able to live here, it's definitely more of a suburb area for sure, but to be able to live in a safe area with a good school district, to be able to get, a relatively affordable home for Southern California, I think is really, really hard to beat, right? And I know if you compare, our pricing compared to maybe somewhere to the Midwest or other parts of the country, $800,000 home is not cheap by any means, right? It is not inexpensive. That's not what I'm saying. But to live in Southern California for something that's relatively affordable, I don't think you can find a better bang for your buck. I think you can, it's a newer area, newer homes. It's pretty squeaky clean, and really, I think it's a great place to live, and that's why we plan to raise our family here. So. Hopefully that's good perspective for you guys. Again, kind of giving you some of our opinions there, and kind of why we think it's a great place. If you guys have any questions, you can feel free to reach out. You can see my information below. Again, feel free, you can call, you can text, you can email. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. You can check out our download, and hopefully talk to you guys soon. Thanks.